Hey there, I'm really excited about this video for two reasons. One of them is where it's recorded. First off, I am in Hawaii right now and I recorded this video this morning at like 6 a.m. in my hotel room, but I'm having a great time here in Hawaii. But the second reason I'm excited is because I'm bringing back my coach-focused interviews series. I have not interviewed folks in a long time, but what I'm doing is interviewing people who have a lot of value to provide for coaches, authors, and speakers who want to be using video online, particularly YouTube. So today what I've got is Dr. Aziz. He's back in Portland where I'm from, but we did an interview and talked about his channel, how he got started, what he's doing now, what it all looks like. So he is successfully using YouTube to market his business, to really position himself as a subject matter expert. I'm sure you guys are going to love this interview. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to do more of these or if you want me to focus on things. My main business focuses on coaches, authors, and speakers who want to use YouTube. So I'm trying to bring a lot more value for those folks here. So if you are in that world, I'd love it if you shared this with some of your colleagues. But let's go ahead and hop right into the interview with Dr. Aziz. So welcome, Dr. Aziz. I'm excited to have you on the show today. But I'm wondering if you could just start out and give the audience a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Sure. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, Brighton. I'm excited to be here. And so I am a author and a teacher is what I would consider myself, as well as a coach. But I really want to educate people and help inspire people to radically shift their confidence so they can live a better life. And I'm passionate about that because I spent many years of my own life with severely limited confidence, lots of social anxiety, shyness, self-doubt, and step by step kind of had to claw my way out of that and through that, and discovered so much along the way, and then wanted to turn around and share and help other people do that. So I've been doing that for almost 10 years now.
Great. Yeah, I love it. I looked at your About Me page on your website, and you kind of told that story of how you've gone through the journey, which I love, and you do it in video too, and I love that because that's something I think is very important for people to have on their About pages, their personal journey, which really talks about their client's personal journey too. Why are you using video? It's great. It sounds like you've been in business for 10 years. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your journey, like how you got to video and why you like it.
Sure. So, been helping people for 10 years. It started with graduate school in clinical psychology. I thought being a therapist or a counselor was the way to do that. And then I realized that there was a better way to do that, which was through coaching and teaching. So I didn't really start the coaching teaching business until maybe 2012 is when it began. So about more than 6 years. And from the very beginning of that, I knew that I needed to do video. And I was getting some business coaching, and she suggested it, and I was totally on board with it because I just knew that video is the future, right? And that's what everyone wants. That's what people interact with most. That's what engages attention more than anything, more than reading text, even more than audio. Audio is second. I think it's video is the top, and then audio, and then text. And that's just because we're media saturated, so we want it delivered to us. And so I knew very early on that I needed to do video, and I also knew that I needed to get good on video and be able to be dynamic, because if you're flat on video, video is very effective at capturing engagement if it's not boring. If it's boring, then it's no better than anything else. So I realized I needed to do it, and so from the beginning, I worked on getting better on camera. And the videos aren't up anymore, but my first videos, they were okay, but they were vastly different than the way I show up now on camera.
Great, yeah, and I love that. I think it's great to see people's journey too, and I think it's kind of a start before you're ready type of thing, because even if you're maybe not perfect on camera, you're still delivering value, and I think that's in my opinion that's what video is all about: is deliver the value, and you'll get better and you'll build that audience.
Totally.
So I want to talk a little bit about the technical aspects here because, you know, we are in your studio, so this is the perfect location to talk about this. But I'd love to hear kind of what the process of making a video looks like for you. Are you doing it all yourself? Do you have a team? I can see camera behind you and whatnot. So yeah, just take us through a little bit of that process of what it takes you to make a video.
Sure. When I answer that, let me start by saying what I first did and what I do now are very different.
Yep.
And also, what you said is 100% spot on. Start before you're ready. So I've talked to a number of people who want to do what I do, and I say, great, you know, you got to start teaching. To become an authority on something, you got to show people you can help them for free, and then they're going to want to work with you. That's just, I think it's the best model, and you know, the way the internet works really is you got to prove that this is of value. And so I've had several people where I'll say, okay, great, you know. Well, they're like, how do I get started? What's the best lighting? And I'm like, here you go. Here's how you get started. Get this. Get one of these. Get a little tripod, something. You know, plug in a lapel mic or something right into the phone, and just record it. And don't even edit that much. Just put it right up on YouTube. And they're like, no. I need to know the fancier lighting. It's like, that's not what you need. What you need is to start finding your voice and putting yourself out there. So if there's one thing that people are watching and I want them to leave with is, don't take any of this as a prerequisite, something you have to do before. Mm-hmm. Get in motion, you know, because the way YouTube works is the more you put out, the better, right? So just get in the habit of recording and finding whatever it is you want to teach. So with that caveat out of the way, I would say the way I would get started, the way I got started with the iPhones weren't as good 6 years ago with their cameras. So we did a Kodak ZI-8.
Okay.
It was just a little, $99 camera, and you could just plug a microphone into it. And a lot of the videos on my YouTube channel are with that camera. That looks good enough for YouTube. Got the audio plugged in, and back then I would edit the videos myself. I used I think before I switched over to Macs, I was using Adobe Premiere, and then I switched over to Macs and started doing Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
And I would just edit, really basic editing, you know, cut the beginning and the end, put a lower third title in there, maybe have an outro or something, and that was it. No audio processing, nothing, just there it is. Mm-hmm. That's how I did a lot of videos. That's how I built my entire business. So you don't need something fancier than that to deliver value and to grow a business. As time went on, though, I upgraded my setup. So this is a soundproof recording studio, and it's my office. It is on the same property as our house. So our house is just across the yard over there. There's a little lawn, and then there's this building. I consider this the best room in the house, even though it's not technically in the house. I love it. It's super quiet in here because of the soundproofing. We got double walls, so it's with an air pocket in between. Again, none of that is absolutely necessary to get started, but as I realized, like, this is my business, my livelihood is to be a teacher, and to do that through media, video, and audio. So let me make that as I want to be able to do that as much as possible. When I was recording with the ZI-8 and all that stuff, I was in my my private practice office as a therapist. So I would see some clients, and then I'd shoot some video and all that stuff. And my office was on the bottom floor of this building that had like 6 or 7 therapy offices in it. The waiting room was right outside my office. So anytime someone would open the door and close it to the main building, you'd hear, and then I knew that the people in the waiting room, I don't know if they could hear every word I was saying, but they could definitely hear me, because I would be like, now I'm going to teach you about blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know that they're hearing me, so I had to overcome my own embarrassment and just be like, whatever, I'm not going to see them, I'm here to teach these people. And then across the street was the Portland compressor, which was I don't even know what compressors do, but they're involved in trucking. Something with trucks. So there'd be trucks all the time, like beep, beep, beep. So I'd be right in the middle of the video, and I'm like, I'd have to edit that out. And so finally, when I was moving here to this house and we were going to set up a recording place, I was like, I want total control. I want it to be quiet. If my neighbor is mowing his lawn, I don't want to have to not be able to record.
Right.
So now I have that, and my productivity has just skyrocketed, because it would be like, when can I record? Well, whenever I have time in my schedule. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what's happening outside here. So I love it. It's soundproofed. we have a nice camera. We had a guy record one of my live events, and he had a number of cameras, and I was talking about wanting to get a new one. He's like, well, I can sell you one of my used ones. It's a JVC something or other. I'm not a camera guy, so I don't even know, but it's like high quality, very high quality. And I don't even really know how to use it that much. We just have it set up to be able to shoot me, and then I know how to focus it and get it started. We input it directly into Final Cut Pro with a laptop right there. And the room interior is audio treated, so there's no echo. And then the video goes into Final Cut Pro, and mostly I have an editor that does it all for me. And occasionally, if I want to railroad projects through, like get them done fast, I'll do some of it. Like I have something that I'm. We have a big ongoing thing we're creating called Confidence University that he's doing all the editing for. And then I had this other project, something else I wanted to add to my my mastermind group, a series of videos. And I didn't want to clog up his process and confuse him, so I was just like, all right, I'll just edit those myself. So I still have that skill set, but I only use it as needed.
Right. Makes sense. Great. Well, what about posting them to YouTube? Are you doing the posting and the titles, tags, descriptions, or is that something that he's doing or she's doing?
No, he's not doing it either. We have another team member that will take the final product and post them in YouTube. So he's just basically our editor. He does our audio and video, audio editing for the podcast, video editing for videos. Then I have a core assistant who manages, working with him. So I just put the video in the Drive, Google Drive. She gets it to, she makes sure that he knows it's in there. Then he'll do the editing and put it back in the Drive. Then she'll take it out of the Drive and put it into YouTube. And then we have a different person who actually does a lot of the descriptions and updates the thumbnail image and tagging, and she's like specifically really good with YouTube. Whereas my core assistant could do that, but this other person's better at it.
Right.
So we have them do it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I love it because, I mean, it's somewhat set up like I work with my clients. You're doing all the recording yourself because I feel like that's, the important person to be on the camera is you. You just push record, and then you've got a team to do a lot of that technical stuff.
Gotta be the talent, baby. That's right.
So what is what has been your biggest struggle with video, with adding that to your business?
That's a good question because I found video easy for me, and not like that it always would be. When I was young and I was really shy and had a lot of social anxiety, video was very uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be on camera. But at the same time, I also got into making movies with my buddies in high school. So I would want to be on camera if we were making like a comedy short. So I got comfortable with that. And I also got familiar with editing then as well. So then by the time it got to like wanting to shoot videos for business, I'd also overcome a lot of my social fear at that point. And I'd just done a ton of my own social confidence building. So I was like, oh, this is just another thing to overcome. So I didn't have the same sort of resistance to it that I see a lot of people have. So I don't think I've had any challenges with video from that sense. I guess it was just I did get feedback from some people that knew me that said, you're different on video than you are when you give a live presentation. And I was just very curious, like, tell me more. Because, I said, well, you're very dynamic and engaging and whatever when you're doing your live thing, and then when you're on video, it's not the same. And so I got some specific feedback from people that I trust and tweaked my approach over time to get more and more dynamic on video. Mm-hmm. And now it's more second nature, but at first it's like you have to do something that feels over the top on video, I found. Yep. But it's not over the top if you're with real people. Because you're with real people, you get excited, you're animated, you start talking to them. But if you just flick record, the energy's not in the room. It's not actually happening. It's like later on watched by them. But you have to be able to generate that. And so, it'd be something simple as like, hey, I'm Dr. Aziz, and I want to talk with you today about, building your confidence at work. There's one. Versus like, hey, Dr. Aziz here, and I want to talk with you today about building your confidence at work. And so the second one is instantly more. So that's one of the challenges I had, is how to like bring more of that energy. And at first it was like kind of exhausting. Like I was like, and I'd be done shooting, I'd be like, and now, like any muscle, I've just done so much of it. And what goes on YouTube is like the tip of the iceberg. Of all the video I've recorded, this is everything, that much is YouTube. The vast majority of it is like hundreds of hours of trainings, teachings, stuff that's accessible through my products, my programs, or like say in the mastermind that I run, stuff that's only available for them. So it's just reps, tons of repetition, and you get stronger at being able to do it.
Awesome. I love how you talk about you have to bring all the energy to the room, because it's so true. Like when you are with people, you are gaining their energy and kind of feeding off each other. But when it's you and a camera, you're it. So you got to bring it all. Excuse me. So I do want to talk about kind of like how video fits in with the rest. You mentioned that YouTube is just a little bit. How does it fit in with the rest of your business? You know, not only your offerings, but also your marketing.
Sure. Well, I mean, YouTube is, I think, for what I do and for what coaches do and teachers and people who want to share a message or offer their ideas through books or other things, YouTube is the best form of marketing there is. And on so many levels, because it's the second biggest search engine in the world after Google. And it's closely linked with Google because Google owns them. So it's like it's the 400-pound gorilla for video searching. Like, yes, there's Vimeo and stuff, but yeah, maybe there's someone who's like, yeah, that's my go-to spot. I go to Vimeo, but most people aren't that. Most people think of video, oh, YouTube. You know, and so and there's other people that are trying to challenge that, like Facebook video inside of their platform and stuff. But YouTube is still the beast, and so it's marketing 101 is go to where people are, right? So people are on YouTube. Next is your marketing is teaching people stuff for free. And I know I've been, I mean, there's so many people on YouTube that I'm like extremely grateful for, and I've never paid them anything. I've just watched tons of their free content and be like, this person's awesome. And some of them I do end up buying something from them, right? But not everyone. And that's the spirit of YouTube, is like you just put it out there, and it's like, you know, moving the free line. You give more and more and more away, and that draws the right people to you. So it's a beautiful form of marketing because you get to teach, you get to establish your authority by offering value, and people benefit for nothing, for free. And so, and then of course, if they really need a solution or really want to go deeper, then now they know you, now they start to trust you, and then there's an opportunity to go further. And so pretty much all of my clients that work with me, people that come to my live events, people that are my group, even people that buy products of mine, they started with YouTube, my podcast, or maybe a book, which is so low cost that it's almost free, like a $10 book or something like that. So, and they get to spend, you know, hours getting to know me and getting to know my journey and benefiting from talking to me. So then by the time they want to work with me and want to buy something or attend an event or something, it's like, it's not such a hard sell because they're like, well, yeah, no, I know this is helpful and I'm ready for more. And so that's how it fits into the other business. And then you just have your other offerings available. So like below the YouTube video, there's links to go to my page, my website. On my website, you can get an ebook that gives you even more value, also for free, in exchange for an email. And then I can offer, you know, if people want to go further and deeper, then I send messages out to my list for that.
Perfect. Yeah, I love how that works. So one of the things I did notice on your website, and you know, because we're both from Portland, is that you do get a lot of media exposure too. So you're on the news every once in a while. So how does that relate to YouTube? Is there a connection there? Clearly, you know, your on-camera confidence is boosted by YouTube, but how have you made those connections and gotten yourself that kind of exposure?
Yeah, paid a lot of money. So that was an initiative of 2017, was like Operation Try and Get Famous. And I did it for 6 months, and then I pulled the plug on that initiative because it was very expensive. And we broke into local media. So I basically had a publicist who did tons and tons of work and drafting of documents and knew how that whole world worked, to coming up with talking points and who to call and producers and this and that, and really, you know, did a lot of work and got us into a lot of local stuff. And we could have done more. I ended up getting pretty good relationships with one particular local news station that they loved me there, and I really enjoyed their show. So it's kind of an open invitation for me to come back. So that's great. Then it was like, okay, how do we get next level? How do we get regional exposure? How do we get national exposure? And he's like, it'll happen. It's just a matter of time. And it was a lot of money, though. And I was like, okay, all right. Okay, so how long? He's like, well, I can't tell you. You know, it could be 3 months, it could be 9 months. And I was just like, ugh. And then honestly, it was like, is the juice worth the squeeze? In terms of money, but also in terms of my business and my model. And like, and is this just about me being like, yeah, I'm on TV now, I'm somebody? Or is this really going to further my mission and my business? And honestly, I found with the local media exposure, like, it's good in that it boosts credibility, which is ridiculous that being on mainstream media boosts your credibility, because to get on mainstream media means nothing in terms of your qualifications and your ability to help people. Like, if you're good at helping people, you might get more YouTube videos and people are like, yeah, this helps, you know. But you go on TV, that just means that you know how to work the media system. So it doesn't mean that you're better, but people think that, though, like, oh my God, you must be really smart, you were on TV. So I thought, well, that's beneficial. But then the quality of the teaching that I was doing on those shows was just like 3 minutes. It was like nothing. It was like fluff. So I was like, I'd rather, you know, so what we decided in the business at the end of, or halfway through 2017 was like, okay, we're going to pull the plug on this and we're going to steer towards internet famous.
Right.
So be incredibly findable by my people. Not appealing to the masses and saying, okay, out of that, who wants to? It's like, okay, I know my people. My people struggle with confidence. They struggle with social anxiety. They want to feel more powerful, more authentic, more free, more bold. And I know it because that's my journey. So let's do our best to get really good on the internet at finding them and then plug them into all the teachings that we have. So that's been the initiative for like the last 4 or 5 months, and it's been going really well. And it feels way more aligned with my mission. Now, you know, it's fun to appear on the local TV, and I still will, but that's not like it's not like I'm going to get famous at all costs. It's not my drive.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love that because I mean, I look at YouTube and I think, you know, this is a worldwide audience, but you know, of your very specific people versus, you know, whoever happens to be watching the news at, you know, at 6 p.m. is a small geographic audience that's just really, really general and may or may not be interested in what you're having to say. Right. So, yeah, well, I guess, you know, I want to start wrapping us up here, but I'm wondering if you could give me, if someone was starting out with video, someone's a coach, an author, speaker, and they're just starting out, what piece of advice would you give them?
Yeah, record, I would say immediate and consistent action is what you'd want to take from watching this conversation here. So immediate action as in start recording today. Like not a week from now, not when you got the next best setup, but like get your phone, even if it's like with your laptop or your computer. Start recording right now. And start releasing right now. And because what's going to happen is you're going to be facing your fear. And that's the fastest way to overcome it, is to get into rapid action. So immediate action, but then consistent action. So, you know, I'm going to release 1 video a week or 2 videos a week and just start doing that. Just pick your days. Okay, on Monday and Thursday, I'm going to release a video. What am I going to record? Well, just commit and you'll find stuff. Mm-hmm. You'll fill in the gaps. Just decide on something and start building up that muscle, because that's the only way to get into it. And a year from now, you're going to be either still considering maybe starting the videos one day and not any better on camera, not have any better equipment, not really sure how to market, like nothing. Or a year from now, you will have recorded, let's say you're doing 2 a week, you'll have recorded 100 videos. You'll have found your voice. You'll have studied how to deliver better. You might even have some better equipment after the first, 3, 4, 5 months. Like all of a sudden, a year from now, which is not that long, someone's going to look at you and be like, whoa, he or she, like, whoa, this is it. What are they doing? Like, I'm going to subscribe or follow this person, versus they don't even know about you. And that's really going to come from that immediate and consistent action.
Awesome. I love that. And I have a strange feeling that this is some of the same advice that you give your clients in terms of building up their confidence.
Yeah.
Great. So maybe you could just tell folks, if they are interested in building up their confidence, how they can find you.
Sure. Well, start with YouTube, right? Because that's what we're talking about. So go to YouTube and type in Get More Confidence. Get More Confidence is the name of my channel. You can also just type in Dr. Aziz, Draziz, and all my videos should be popping up then. You can also go to my website, which is socialconfidencecenter.com, socialconfidencecenter.com, and then there's that ebook that's in there. It's called 5 Steps to Unleash Your Inner Confidence. It's full. It's like literally the 5 steps that are going to be the most important to building greater confidence. Even if your confidence is already pretty high and you want it to be higher, those are the same 5 steps as if it's really low and you want to get it back to like where it once was in your life. So that's the best place to get started. And then, of course, there's other resources. There's tons of stuff on the main page there to find out more.
Great. Well, Dr. Aziz, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And hopefully I will cross paths with you around Portland.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Great.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Coach Focused, and I'd love it if you are a coach, an author, or a speaker, and you might have colleagues that are interested in this type of content, if you would share this video with them. Share with them how they can use YouTube to really position themselves as a subject matter expert and really grow their business. Like Dr. Aziz's business is going crazy right now because of YouTube. So I hope that you share it, I hope you enjoyed it, and also leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think.